Welcome into Side Sessions here. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen. We are joined here by Liam Hicksy. Hicks, I love that everyone on this team has some sort of a shorter nickname, and I can call you Hicksy, right?
Of course, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. We are live from Washington, D.C. here at Nationals Park. It's the third leg on this trip. I know everyone is exhausted, so we really appreciate you joining us today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You do any sightseeing yesterday on our off day on Thursday?
Yeah, I went to the Pentagon with some of the guys.
The boys?
Yeah, they set up a little thing for the team. So
Okay.
probably like 15 guys, so it was cool. It was a good time.
How long were you there for?
I think it was like an hour total. Yeah.
Took the metro into D.C. I passed the Canadian Embassy. You didn't want to say hey to your
I
friends
saw
or
that
anything?
too.
I didn't, no. I'm good on that.
So you went to the Pentagon. We're on this third leg of this trip, and I think we want to get you on here because we're looking at your numbers, and we're like, people aren't talking about Liam Hicks enough. You're leading the NL in rookie RBIs. You were a Rule 5 pick from Detroit, from the Marlins. You're on this team in spring training, fighting for a spot. You end up making it, and here you are right now. I mean, what has the journey been like thus far? We're almost halfway through the year, which is actually crazy to think.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, I think, at the start it was definitely a little bit of a whirlwind, but players, teammates, staff have been super supportive, really good. So as I've kind of got along in the season, gotten a little more comfortable, can kind of be myself a little bit more, and I think that's really helping me.
Let's start with how you got here. Did you know what the Rule 5 draft was? I'm sure you knew what it was, but did you understand the process of how that worked? Did you think that this was at all a possibility that you were going to be somewhere else?
I knew what it was because I had a teammate the year before, Justin Slayton, got picked by the Red Sox.
Awesome, by the way.
So
Can close games.
Exactly, yeah, really good pitcher. So I knew what it was, and like I'm also into baseball, so like I know that kind of stuff. But no, I knew like being a catcher, like it was pretty unlikely that I know a catcher hasn't been taken in a long time, and then also only having played in AA, like I knew that was kind of might not make it a possibility. So I really wasn't going in like thinking about it or anything, but I had I had a former manager reach out like the night before and say like, hey, I've been like hearing from some teams, like just asking about you, like hope things go well. So then I was like, oh, wow, maybe this will be possible. I don't know. I didn't want to get my hopes up at all. So I was just like, let me not think about it. And, yeah.
What were the emotions like when you got selected in the Rule 5 draft? Because when that happens, you know that you kind of control your own destiny to become a Major League Baseball player, which is really cool. And obviously, there's a lot externally that needs to happen. You were in Detroit. Jake Rogers needs to get hurt, right? Dylan Dingler needs to get hurt. Somebody like that. They've got prospects, right? You have injuries in front of you. You have guys that are underperforming, maybe get traded. That has to happen for you to get to the major leagues with that organization. Then all of a sudden, you're thrusted into this situation where it's like, hey, if I hit in spring training, I'm going to debut like in the first week of next year. That had to be really hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, I'd say so. I really didn't try and think too far ahead.
Yeah.
Really focused on just kind of taking it day by day. But it definitely like gave me a lot of motivation in the off season. Obviously, I'm going to work hard no matter what. Like I was going into hopefully breaking camp with AAA with Toledo. But
You and Yuri just skipping AAA. You and Yuri Perez.
but yeah, that gave me definitely a little bit more motivation. Like, okay, we got to lock in here, come into spring training prepared, and like it gave me a good opportunity to get down to Jupiter really early and start working and try not to get ahead of myself, but also like put in the work and show that I'm committed to doing this and being ready.
And you were here in January, right, with Joe? I mean, what month is this for you? I mean, you've been playing for the last almost 10 months, it feels like. What did your January look like with Joe?
Yeah, so I was training before I even had got picked by the Marlins or whatever, when I was still with Detroit, I was training in Cressy, which is in Palm Beach Gardens. So like literally like 10 minutes from the Jupiter complex. So it worked out really well that once I got picked, I immediately was like, okay, let me message Joe. Sure. He said he was going to come down in January. So yeah, I'd go to Cressy in the mornings. Usually I was living in Port St. Lucie, so I'd get up at like 5:36, get to Cressy at like 8:30, try and beat the traffic because it was pretty brutal, and then work out there, do my hitting there, and then go eat lunch, then meet Joe at like noon, and then we'd do like an hour session just all catching.
So I'm so happy you brought up the Rule 5-2 and being in AA, because usually it's like, all right, here's your off season, here's what you need to do to be in AAA. You're going from AA to the majors. Like, what was sort of the everyday, what am I trying to make sure when I get to the big leagues I can do? Because again, it's not like you have a measuring stick, like you're going from AA to the show.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as on the catching side,
Sure.
Joe obviously was with the Reds in the big leagues the last few years, so I was like, I'm going to put my full trust into him, let him tell me whatever, because I know that's kind of part of my game that I really needed to improve on. So I was kind of like, do whatever you want with me, man. Like, tell me
Sure.
what I need to do. I'm all ears.
What were the first couple of things, like pop time? What get
It
specific
was
with us?
I'd say it was all receiving to start. We really like hammered out receiving. I had been with the Rangers. They had taught a specific way to catch that I was kind of used to. Then went to the Tigers. They really didn't have much instruction just because it was midway through the season. I didn't really like get into like the nitty gritty stuff
Sure.
with them as far as like what they teach. But then Joe, we kind of just scrapped some of the stuff that I had been doing, kind of fell into some bad habits just throughout a whole season. You know, you're just trying to get through every day.
And what were some of those bad habits?
Just like glove load, like some niche things like
Go
glove.
go nerdy on us, please. We're doing this a side session.
Yeah, so the glove load was like the big thing. I was loading very out front, you know, thumb to the ground,
Sure.
as you'd say, and I'd kind of turn my hand. We have a different name for it, but I just kind of turn the thumb up,
Okay.
kind of like you see Trevino does it. He's really good at it. Obviously, he has a ton of success with it. But so I was doing that, but not doing it very effectively. So we kind of scrapped that. Started from the started loading a little bit deeper, a little bit more of like a stay loaded, wait on the pitch longer.
Love it.
And Joe immediately like showed me some like heat maps of like my season from before, and it was like completely blue on this inside corner to righties. Like all this whole side is blue. So we really hammered that like all off season, just trying to get around the ball. Yeah, so it was pretty cool, pretty eye opening. He immediately was like sending me videos of some of the best receivers in the game.
Pat Bailey.
Yeah, Pat Bailey, some of the best throwers in the game, like Real Muto, Bailey too as well. He'd be sending me stuff at like midnight. I'd wake up and I'd have like 5 messages of like a long like PowerPoint that he had made. So I mean, he puts in a ton of work, and like it was really cool, really eye opening for me.
So when you say inside of righties was blue, that means that you were receiving and you were getting a lot of pitches on the black called balls instead of strikes, right? Because you were deficient at pulling those back into the strike zone. And I want you to kind of go into framing, because it's something that's a little abstract to the typical baseball fan, right? Because typically those people will think, oh, catchers grab any pitch on the corner and just drag it right back into the strike zone. That's not the art form, if I'm not mistaken.
No, definitely not. I think the main thing you could say is you're just trying to beat the ball to the spot. Like you're trying to keep the strike a strike. Like they're throwing a breaking ball that's going to move 10 inches down at 85 miles an hour. If you're starting above it, you're not going to be able to keep that in the strike zone without making it look like you're just dragging it back. So you're really just trying to start below the ball and stop it like as fast as possible before it becomes a ball. Gotcha. Or it becomes a ball to the ump. Yeah, I'd say the main thing is just keeping the strikes. Yeah, exactly.
So if you, like, let's say CB Buckner is behind the plate, is Joe giving you his history on where he calls strikes and balls? Does it go that detail or no?
No, it wouldn't go into that at all. It would be, it's all, our org is like all pitcher strength.
Sure.
Like, sure. So you're not worrying too much about the umpire at all. You're not letting their calls affect the way you're going to catch the game. They call a strike a ball, it can't affect your game. You got to be on to the next one. There's plenty of pitches that you get in the game, the chances you're going to get. So we're all focused on the pitcher-catcher relationship. That's the main focus.
Can I pivot to offense?
Absolutely, yeah. And then we'll pivot to the timeline of growing up in Canada.
Perfect. Offensively, it's been really fun to watch this happen, man. Because the first week, you didn't play opening day, you get in the lineup, you got an offer attached to you. And I know the hardest one to get in Major League Baseball is the first one. And it took you a couple of days, but once you got it, dude, it has been so much fun to watch you settle in. And the big number that jumps out about Liam Hicks, right? He's leading all NL rookies and RBIs right now. Situational baseball has been a joy to watch. You don't punch out. Obviously, the Marlins loved that you didn't punch out. But you hit a homer at 109 off the bat against the Dodgers, right? Like, had you done that before, man? I mean, it really feels like you're growing into your own as a Major League Baseball hitter.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, no, I don't think I had done that before. But yeah, that's kind of where the coaching staff has kind of pushed me.
Yeah.
You know, haven't in the past history, like, haven't struck out at like a high clip, so made a lot of contact in the past. So they're kind of just pushing, like, be selective. If you swing, you're gonna put it in play.
Yeah.
Try and do a little more damage. Like, who cares if you swing and miss? If you're trying to do a little more damage, you're going to be 0-1, 1-2, whatever the count is, and you're still going to have another chance to put the ball in play later.
Can I ask you, was there a hump to get over with that? Like, coaches reminding you, hey, you're a guy that never punched out in the minor leagues. The major leagues are different, right? And you're seeing the best pitchers on the planet. Did you have any, like, internal hurdle that you needed to clear saying, well, these guys are a lot better than anybody I've ever seen. Maybe I strike out more up here? Because clearly you aren't.
It's tough to say, but I think it's like a daily hurdle. Like, in my mind, I don't want to punch out.
Right.
But that's not a good mindset to go into when you're 0-0.
Right.
Just trying to get a hit. You can't go up there trying not to punch out.
Right.
So that's like a daily thing that I talk with them. Like, when I get in these advantage counts, like look for a certain pitch.
Let it eat.
And let it eat if you think it's that pitch. But there's still times where, you know, I'm a little apprehensive. You know, I'll get in my own head, like, take it, and then come back to talk to the hitting coaches. I'm like, why did I do that? So there's still, like, an ongoing battle trying to learn that.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of training. Like, you can't just decide one day, I'm going to swing harder. You need to train it. You need to get comfortable, because you go in there and you swing harder, you're not just going to make contact every time. Like, you're not going to put the ball on the barrel just because you're swinging harder. So I think that was kind of a big thing. Training, like, trying to do the damage, trying to seek out these opportunities where you can try and do that. But yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Like, still trying to do it every day. You know, you get that feeling for like a week and it goes really well, and then you lose it and you got to fight to get it back. It's just something every baseball player goes through.
Curiously, and whether it was when Clayton told you made the team, your first home run, an interaction with the player, what was your pinch me moment in the show?
Honestly, I'd say the first hit was like the big one. I honestly didn't really feel like a major leaguer until I got that first hit. It kind of like, it really allowed me to like breathe and be like, okay, I've made it. Like, I'm good. I can do this. Even if it was just one hit, like, I'm like, okay. Because I don't know why. It was like playing in the game wasn't enough. Once I got the first hit, that was good. And then also, like, interacting with players, obviously, as a catcher, like, everyone comes up to bat. Like,
like you say, what's up, Shohei?
Exactly. Like, there's just like little things like that. Like, just seeing Harper, Freeman, like, say hi to you, like,
Give you a little bat on the.
Yeah, exactly. So that stuff's pretty cool. Stuff you remember, but then you're trying to get them out right away.
Quiz time, and I don't know what the right answers are. Who'd you get your first hit against?
Clay Holmes.
Clay, dude, that's
good
an awesome.
one.
Yeah, it's solid.
Really
First
good.
homer was in Philly, right? Who was that against?
Romano.
Come on, man. Clay Holmes and Romano.
And it should have been in Atlanta, your home run. That
Oh,
would have been
dude.
that would have been a home run in, I think, 28 of 30 ballparks,
Yeah,
if I'm
dude.
not mistaken, or 29, I think it was.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but it's all right.
Okay.
You got it against a countryman in Romano. That's
Yeah, I
great.
did.
Fellow Canadian.
Good
that's
shout
big.
there. Good
that's
shout.
Big.
Yeah.
We asked for 15 minutes. Can we keep you for like another 3-4 minutes? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to real quick go the timeline back to Canada. Just very interested. Obviously, we always think about hockey, right? Good Stanley Cup going on, by the way. What was the childhood of Liam Hicks growing up in Canada?
Yeah, so grew up, like you said, playing hockey. It was hockey in the winter, baseball in the summer. Played up until high school, 11th grade. Kind of had to make the decision. enjoyed hockey, but baseball was starting to kind of
Why?
because. To be fair, like I think a lot of my friends played hockey, and I wasn't like one of the best hockey players that I knew.
Sure.
But out of all my friends, like I was the best baseball player.
Good.
So I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. Like I just enjoyed like practicing more. Like I'd
Sure.
take the bus, go hit with my brother and stuff, and like I just enjoyed like the practices of that more. Hockey, I started to like kind of dread like going to practice late at night. Baseball, never really got tired of it. So I was like, okay, stick with this, keep going with this, and just enjoyed it a lot more.
How does a kid from Toronto make his way to Arkansas State University?
Yeah, so
One of 8 players ever to play in the show.
in
From
Arkansas State.
Wow.
Cool.
Cool.
So I played for a travel ball team, Toronto Mets, growing up. So they help with like college recruiting and stuff. Actually got diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was in high school in I think 10th grade. So that was kind of when recruiting was starting. So got really sick, lost a ton of weight. Definitely was not up to standards with like what a Division I baseball player would look like, let alone like maybe D2, JUCO. Anyways, finally got healthy, started to play a little bit better, but that was really late. So I ended up committing my senior year to Mineral Area Junior College in like June of my senior year. My only legitimate offer out of high school was gonna just stay in Toronto and like do like a little go to school there, kind of just play club baseball, be done with it, just move on. But I was like, I can go back and do that if I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
College. So went, played well, started to play every day, fell in love with it more. Yeah, played there 2 years, then got recruited by Arkansas State the fall of my sophomore year and ended up committing there.
How did you work through Crohn's?
It was really tough. Yeah, like it was a battle. Didn't really know what was going on. Finally, yeah, it's tough. Like I remember we'd go to tournaments and I could like barely stay on the field, like just like barely eating, couldn't hold anything down. But just grinding through, maybe probably like 130 pounds, just like trying to play, but still enjoyed playing. But it just, yeah, it sucked. But I knew like once I got healthy, I could do it. Finally did. And yeah, I knew I was just really grateful for my health, for being able to kind of put the weight back on.
Blessing, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it really puts in perspective like how much better you are when you're healthy. Like baseball comes second to that. I'd take that any day. So it was a grind, but really thankful for finally getting over it and all good now. Been really blessed with the health since then.
We're happy you feel better too because you're here. I got 2 quick ones, Jack. You want to go ahead?
I got 2 really quick ones too. First favorite player growing up, who was it?
Favorite player growing up was Roy Halladay.
Sure.
Yeah, I know it's like he's a pitcher, but
he was amazing.
as a Jays fan growing up, like he was the man.
He was amazing.
So it was really cool. Yeah.
My last one. Who's a Miami Marlin that needs more love right now?
I would say
all of them, but
yeah,
single one out.
That is a tough one. All of them, but I mean, I think one guy that's really going to turn it on is Calvin Fauché.
Cool.
I think he's got elite stuff.
Good shout.
The ERA might not be where it should be, just
Reliever
based off
ERA
like
is really weird.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
Kinda
one. I think it's been like one outing that really hasn't been there. But yeah, really good stuff. He's got a ton of weapons that he can pitch to lefties and righties. So I think he's someone that could get on a roll and be really good.
We opened about Hicksy. Like if Jack and I were in the clubhouse, like Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, like what would we be? Like Stevie? Stromy?
Dane calls him Stevie.
Stromy.
Stromy.
Moles, maybe?
Oh, God, that sucks.
Moles.
That stinks.
Molesy?
I like Molesy.
That's horrible.
That's a good one. Stevie
I'm
and
good.
Molesy. Strami and Molsey.
There's a reason I'm not in that clubhouse, man.
Side sessions with Hicksy. I love it, man. I forgot my other one, but I really appreciate. I know you got to go. I appreciate
No,
your
all
time,
good.
man. This was awesome. Thank you for being vulnerable about your story and your journey. We're so excited that you're here, and we've just enjoyed you so much up here in the big leagues, man.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, that was Liam Hicks. That's Moles. What is it?
Molsey.
Molsey.
That's
That's
so
Molsey. I'm
gross.
Steven
That's
Strum. We'll
that's
talk to you on the
terrible.
next episode of Side Sessions.